StormTrack 5 presents Nature's Blackout, tracking the 2017 solar eclipse. Nature's Blackout, tracking the 2017 solar eclipse is brought to you by Leo's Pest Control and Grindstaff Automotive.
It's an event that hasn't occurred in almost 100 years. The last time a total solar eclipse impacted this much the United States, the city of Kingsport was celebrating its first birthday. That was 1918. The First World War was raging across Europe. Woodrow Wilson was president, and the population of Bristol was only about 15,000. Today, it's more than double that. Today, America will see a spectacular sight in the skies. The skies over Appalachia will darken as the moon covers up the sun. We'll show you some of the sights and sounds across the nation, across Tennessee, and across the Tri-Cities as this once-in-a-lifetime event unfolds.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining for the News 5 WCYB special report, Nature's Blackout, tracking the 2017 solar eclipse. I'm Preston Ayers.
And I'm Olivia Bailey. We have team coverage across East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. News 5's Rebecca Pepin and Chris Michaels are at St. Anne's Catholic School in Bristol, and Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks is in Johnson City at the Public Library.
And in Athens, Tennessee, we have our StormTrack 5 meteorologist Ricky Matthews and News 5's Ellie Romero live in a spot that will see complete darkness during this eclipse.
And Ricky and Ellie, the question now, what is going on at that NASA viewing site?
The excitement level, Preston, is growing here for sure. We are in McMinn County between Etowah and Englewood. Ellie and I arrived around 9 a.m. this morning, and there were already people already here setting up their telescopes, setting up their cameras, getting their solar eclipse glasses out, and we had that partial begin here around 1 o'clock, and the excitement level was through the roof.
Yeah, and just like Ricky said, at 9 o'clock, people were already here, and there were a few people here. Now there's so many different tents and people setting up telescopes and ways to take pictures, and it really is this level of once-in-a-lifetime excitement. And as soon as the partial totality started, everyone was going around and saying, make sure you're looking, here it comes.
Now, of course, we're here in that path to totality, but back in the Tri-Cities, there's still a spectacular sight to see. It's not going to be totality where the sun is 100% covered or total darkness, but you still will see something. So, but what is an eclipse and why do they occur? Here's a few fast facts. Solar eclipses occur when the moon covers up the sun, casting a shadow on the Earth below. The moon orbits, on average, 239,000 miles from Earth. The sun, although much larger than the moon, appears the same size as the moon to us. This allows for solar eclipses to occur. There are two views typically seen during a total solar eclipse: a partial and a total eclipse. A partial eclipse is just what it sounds like, an eclipse that only covers part of the sun. This occurs when the penumbra of the moon is cast on the Earth below. A total eclipse is where the moon completely covers the sun. During this, the umbra of the moon is cast on the Earth below. As the moon covers up the sun, it reveals the corona, or atmosphere of the sun, something rarely seen. The last solar eclipse to happen anywhere in the United States was in 1979. On average, somewhere on Earth experiences a total solar eclipse every 18 months. However, eclipses rarely return to the same area year after year. In fact, the eclipse return period is roughly 375 years. That's what makes the 2017 eclipse so cool.
Yeah, burn the eyes out.
All right, so now that we have the basics, it's important to know what we'll see. So all of North America will see at least part of the eclipse.
But where we are, we're located in that total eclipse zone. So for us, you're going to see that 100% coverage. That's only a small, narrow path, though, about 70 miles wide, encompassing Nashville, Crossville, and the area where we are near Athens. It's in this zone where the moon completely covers the sun. But outside, though, including in the Tri-Cities, there'll still be a lot to see.
And meteorologist Chris Michaels breaks down what you can see in the Tri-Cities.
Solar eclipses.
Nature's Blackout has been on the minds of many for years now. And while we may not be in the totality zone, here's what we should expect this afternoon. The eclipse began shortly after 1 p.m., with the maximum eclipse being around 2:35. It comes to an end at 4 p.m., wrapping up a show that most of the United States hasn't seen in nearly a century. In the Tri-Cities, the sun is going to be 96% covered during the maximum eclipse. North of that, 92 to 94% covered, and south of the Tri-Cities, 96 to 98% covered. So with that said, what exactly is the sky going to look like?
With 96% of the sun blocked by the moon for the Tri-Cities for this eclipse, we should be able to see that the lighting is going to look eerily silvery.
It's still unsafe to look directly at the sun during this eclipse without special eclipse glasses. That's especially the case with us not being in the totality zone.
You run the risk of having what we call solar retinopathy, where the rods and cones literally can be burned.
In 2001, the temperature dropped by 15 degrees in Zambia during a total solar eclipse. Outside of totality, temperatures can still drop 5 to 10 degrees, with lower humidity levels favoring more of a drop in temperature. We'll show you how the temperature drops locally coming up later in the show.
And you're now looking at a live view from our camera here in Athens, showing the sun as it continues to get more covered. Ellie and I are going to continue to watch the sun ourselves and watch what's happening around us. And we'll join you a little later in the show. Preston and Olivia?
And to be able to get that view, you need to make sure your eyes are protected, and that is a priority when it comes to viewing the eclipse. You can't just look at it with your bare eyes, just like you can't the sun normally. You need those special viewing glasses like these right here. One eye doctor and one chemistry teacher from our area are taking extra precautions to make sure you don't hurt yourself trying to watch the eclipse.
Like an eclipse is, your willpower can go past aversion and look straight at it because you want to see this thing.
We have enough glasses that we're going to be able to supply glasses to every student, every faculty member, staff member in Norton City Schools, Wise County Schools, and Russell County Schools.
Now, if you don't have those special eclipse glasses, don't worry.
You do still have some time to view the eclipse and some things around the house that you can help make that happen. We're going to show you how to do that on WCYB.com. David Boyd has a video put together that shows you all of how to alternative eclipse for the viewing methods of the to see that this afternoon, and you probably still have time to make that happen.
Absolutely. And you can also send in your pictures as you're watching that eclipse. Make sure to take pictures of yourself watching those eclipse glasses. You can post them on our Facebook or our Twitter page.
Using the hashtag WCYB Eclipse, and then we're going to show you some of those as we go throughout the show here in the next hour or so. And we're back with more of the special eclipse 2017 Nature's Blackout right after this.
In the Tri-Cities, several area libraries are hosting viewing events for the solar eclipse today.
And one of those is in Johnson City. That's where Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks is this afternoon. Dave, what's the excitement level like in Johnson City?
We are live from the Johnson City Public Library enjoying an eclipse viewing event right now. And of course, it's getting a little dark. We're about an hour into the eclipse, and it is noticeably darker here downtown Johnson City. Of course, I've got the safety glasses, but joining me right now, talk a little bit about the event, is Jennifer Johnson with the Public Library. Talk about why y'all decided to kind of host this this event for the folks in Johnson City.
Well, we knew it was going to be a huge event on a national scale, and we just wanted to provide something for the community by providing the free glasses.
And over here, you got kind of a unique way of actually observing the eclipse if you don't have the glasses, right?
Right. So the sun actually projects down through the binoculars, and if you hold up the piece of poster board, you'll see what's left of the sun projecting onto the poster board.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping by and letting us be here with you guys during your event. Hey, right now we want to go talk to this young man right here. What's your name, bud?
Josiah.
And Josiah, what is your favorite thing so far about the eclipse?
Well, I like how the sun looks whenever I look at it.
It's kind of disappearing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a crescent.
Right. And what do you hope to see when it, at its max?
I hope to see like a dark circle and then like light going around it.
I'm with you, man. Thank you. All right, buddy. Okay, so the peak, actually, the max is at 236 here in Johnson City. As I said, and as he mentioned, it's over half, I think, covered up now as far as the moon is concerned. And the peak at 236, I think it's going to be a real crowd pleaser when that actually happens. But live from Johnson City to the Public Library, I'm meteorologist Dave Dirks. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Well, as day turns to night, temperatures will be dropping at a little faster rate than they normally rise, as NASA scientists needing your help in tracking the changing weather. Now, they're asking folks to download a Globe Observer app on their smartphone or tablet, and then through the app you can note of the cloud observations of 15 to 30 minutes, record temperatures using a separate thermometer in the shade, and then take a reading every 10 minutes. From 2 hours prior to the eclipse, the maximum time, until 2 hours after. Those observations can be logged into the network, and NASA scientists are going to study how our solar-powered planet is impacted by this eclipse.
And with 320,000 to potentially 1 million people expected to drive through Tennessee, TDOT is ramping up their preparedness. Traffic is expected to be an issue. The department is using highway signs to encourage drivers to not stop on the side of the road during the eclipse. In a social media campaign, TDOT told drivers to treat totality like it's nighttime with extra driving precaution. We're bringing in meteorologist David Boyd. David, we've been looking at these TDOT cameras. I have had several friends driving through Knoxville who said it was busy then, but it looks like most people have gotten to their destination by now.
Looking much better now. Big bottleneck around the Knoxville area earlier, but now looking at some of the TDOT cameras in the Knoxville area, traffic is moving A-OK. And we've also been watching some of the NASA live feeds. This is in Oregon, where they are now past totality. And it's pretty neat that we can actually see the sun kind of blocking out the clouds there, blocking out the visible imagery there, going from west to east. So we're going to be meeting our maximum eclipse about 2:35 this afternoon.
And when we come back, we'll check in with Ricky and Ellie in Athens, Tennessee.
And speaking of Athens, we can see what it looks like there live right now. It's 2:13. We're headed to 2:36 here this afternoon for our peak time. We're back with more in just a moment.
Don't let your dream.
We're just under 20 minutes out from seeing that partial eclipse here in our area, but right now looking at a live view of the sun from Jefferson City, Missouri.
They are at the totality there in Jefferson City, and our Ricky Matthews and Ellie Romano live in Athens, Tennessee, as they are waiting for the total eclipse to happen there.
Preston, as the sun continues to get more covered here, we've noticed a few changes in the sky around us. It's kind of got that silvery appearance. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but from my eyes, Ellie, it's looking a little different here.
Yeah, and you know, Ricky, the eclipse isn't just a sight for people. It also affects animals. So as the eclipse begins to hit totality, some animals might think it's suddenly nighttime and begin their nighttime routines. And you know, this is especially common in birds. And then when it's completely dark, they might actually just go to sleep, and that's when it will get really quiet because we won't hear any of those birds singing. And the temperature will also drop during the eclipse, which makes some pets that are prone to anxiety become nervous.
Like my dog.
I know, little Forrest. And you know, some animal experts advise pet owners to make sure their animals are secure before watching the eclipse, so that once the eclipse is over, those animals should go back to normal, though.
Of course, your pets don't need eclipse classes. You do, and we need them still here, as we're not at totality yet, but we're getting very close. We'll show you that coming up here in just a couple minutes. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Live what the shot was like in Athens right now, and the excitement continuing to build across the Tri-Cities at this point. News 5's Rebecca Pepin and meteorologist Chris Michaels at St. Anne's School in Bristol.
Students there are part of a watch party. What's going on out there, Rebecca and Chris?
Getting a little darker.
Hey guys, we are live at St. Anne's School in Bristol, and we're checking out the eclipse. Let me tell you what we are seeing right now. The sun is looking like a crescent moon. It is super cool. What a phenomenon. And these young folks get to witness it all. How exciting. All right, guys, tell me what you have seen out here today. Tell me your name, first of all.
My name's Austin Shrinker, and I've seen it fading over there, and it's been really cool.
And what about you, sweetie? What are you looking forward to? Are you hoping it goes totally black out here today?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Well, I like just seeing the eclipse because that's pretty cool.
What a first day of school. Are you kidding me?
It has been the best first day of school ever. That's just been amazing. I mean, a solar eclipse on the first day.
What? Right? Blowing our minds, isn't it? What did you want to say, sweetie?
I can't believe first day of school, and this is going to be a great year because of the solar eclipse. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, way to start off the school year. All right, guys, show me your eclipse glasses. Woohoo!
Just the eclipse.
All right, I am going to hand it over to Chris Michaels now because he's talking about the science of it all. He's been recording the temperature, and we've seen some fascinating things happen.
We have, yeah, and actually I don't even need that mic. I've got one right here. How fancy is that? How cool. All right, so yeah, we've been tracking the temperature ever since we got out here, and here's what's gone on, guys. We started out at 84.4 degrees. We're now at 82.4, so that means what? The temperature's dropped by how much? 2 degrees, all right? And you can kind of notice the sky getting just a little dimmer. We're not going to go 100% black here in the Tri-Cities, but it is getting a little dimmer. We're reducing the solar radiation, or the amount of sunlight that comes in, and so we're going to track the temperature changes. We're also sending it to NASA. I think that's pretty cool. We get to talk with the space guys, and we get to tell them just how much the temperature is dropping. It's going to be important for future solar eclipses. So, Rebecca, actually, as we're talking, the sky's just getting dimmer. It's really eerie. It's a little freaky, but it's so awesome. So I hope you guys have a chance to check it out. Keep in mind that we are streaming on our website, wcyb.com/live-stream. Go ahead, check this out. Once-in-a-lifetime event. Guys, we'll throw it back to you.
And we are, of course, wanting you guys to send us your pictures as you're able to safely take those, and we want to share those with you as we go throughout the special show here. And here's a couple of those we're beginning to get in at this point. A few of you have shared us with us. This is from Stephen from Marion, Virginia, taken at 2:03 this afternoon. Another shot here coming from Bristol, Tennessee. Thanks to Donald Teague for sharing that one with us. And they're just having a little fun there with, looks like the dog wearing the special glasses there.
And as we reach that partial totality, make sure to send us your pictures using the hashtag WCYB Eclipse. And you can also send them to our Facebook and Twitter accounts as well.
And we'll take another look at those as we go throughout the next hour or so here.
And just a reminder, when you are taking those pictures, make sure of the prolonged exposure to your camera and the impact of the camera sensor. Just like if you look with your eyes, you also need that solar filter on your camera too, especially if you're using a telephoto lens. Now, we talked to a local photographer for Johnson City who also urged that caution.
If you don't have solar filters on your optics and you just look through at the sun for an instant, you're talking about major damage to your eyes, like just irreversible eye damage.
Now, Barnett says it's okay to take a picture or two of that eclipse with your smartphone, but videotaping the entire thing can fry your camera's phone as well.
So just keep that in mind. But again, as you're able to take a few, send those to us. We'd love to share those. Some great pictures already coming in, David.
That's right. We're close to totality in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So there's a live look from NASA. So getting very close to totality there. We're just north and east of totality here in the Tri-Cities, but 96% of the sun is going to be blocked here over the next several minutes. And as you look at the GO-16 imagery, you can actually see the moon's shadow moving across the country. Very cool. As we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see how these clouds around Wichita just fading away. This is the visible satellite imagery, and it is continuing to push to the south and to the east and closer to the Tri-Cities, where we do have a few fair weather cumulus clouds. Hopefully it won't be blocking your view. Here's a live look now in Kingsport, Johnson City, and BMS. Mainly clear skies across the region, and there's a look at Bays Mountain. Now, what I wanted to show you here, this is a loop of the temperatures. So we're going to go back to about 123, and notice Rockwood, west of Knoxville, 89, but they've actually dropped down to 87. Inglewood, close to where Ricky is, was 92, now it's dropped down to 90 degrees. So we are seeing that temperature drop. Cookeville was 91, now they're down to 90. So it's really interesting to watch the temperature drop in the middle of the day with this eclipse. So still lots of daylight out there, but we are starting to see more and more changes here across East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Welcome back. Hopkinsville, Kentucky at totality right now. So we're seeing the corona around the sun right now. So 100% eclipse in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. That's pushing to the south and to the east. So we're going to be seeing our maximum eclipse here pretty soon in the Tri-Cities. But we're at totality in Hopkinsville, and that's moving toward Athens, Tennessee.
And speaking of Athens, Tennessee, that's where Ricky and Ellie are right now. Let's see what it's like now with the latest as it's continuing to progress over Athens.
All right, thanks, David. And that totality is coming our way just minutes away. And this eclipse is historic.
It is, you know, but there was another eclipse more than 100 years ago right in the Tri-Cities, which gained national attention. On August 7th, 1869, astronomers and scientists descended upon the small town of Goodson, Virginia, the name of current-day Bristol, Virginia.
Bristol really was on the world map long before we became the birthplace of country music or the world's fastest half mile.
They were expecting a total solar eclipse, and Bristol was the perfect spot for viewing.
Eclipse watchers were so excited, and they were going to be able to photograph this unusual phenomenon that had occurred before and had been named by this astronomer from England named Bailey, called Bailey's Beads, but they hadn't been able to photograph it before. You think, well,
tasked with observing the eclipse for the United States government, a team of scientists from the U.S. Coast Guard survey boarded trains for Bristol.
See this street going straight up? There's Cumberland.
They found the best spot, up on a hill on the northwest side of Bristol, and began to set up.
Townspeople were so excited, and they came up every day, and they watched the astronomers build this observatory and unpack their scientific equipment, and it was grand entertainment. I mean,
this spot right here was instrumental for observation of the solar eclipse. Observers watched as the shadow approached them and then noted what they saw in their reports.
Sir, I respectfully submit the following report of the operations and results of the party under my charge, and execution of your instructions to observe the solar eclipse of August 7th. During the entire partial eclipse, the sun shone with great splendor, so much so that it was necessary to use the darkest screen glass, which in my case was a deep red color. 5:32, light fading rapidly away. 5:39, a cold dark shadow passed over the observatory, very distinctly marked.
When it was all over, the scientists and the equipment left, but pieces of that day remained. Walking down Solar Street today, you may not understand the significance that this location once played. But if you look closely, you'll find the history that it represents.
Bud Phillips says in his book they built a little foundation of brick, and that the brick later was actually used in the construction of one of the early homes here.
History that the residents of Solar Street today really appreciate.
We love history. I mean, it's like Michael Crichton, the famous author, said, if you're a leaf and don't know you came from a tree, you know, what good is that? So we really appreciate history. We appreciate the past.
And as the eclipse passes over Tennessee, a team of pilots and scientists will be flying through the eclipse pass to study the phenomenon. Taking observation from twin telescopes mounted on the noses of two WB-57s, scientists will capture the clearest images of the sun's outer atmosphere, the corona. This will be the first ever thermal images of Mercury, revealing how temperature varies across the planet's surface. The images from the jets should be available to the public shortly after the eclipse.
All right, we're only a few minutes away from totality right here in Athens. Here's a view from our camera, which we're going to show you that entire eclipse when we return.
Going back now to the live NASA feed that we've been monitoring. This is from near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. They've been using some special cameras as totality nears there.
And it's also near Athens, Tennessee, where News 5's Ricky Matthews and Ellie Romano are live. What are you seeing right now in one of the best views of that eclipse?
Olivia, it's a very eerie sky here. The crowd behind us is getting very excited, Ellie, because we're only just a few moments away from totality here.
I know. I just looked up into the sun with my eclipse glasses, and I'm going to do it again right now. It's just a sliver, like less than a crescent moon it looks like right now.
Yeah, it looks like a teeny little crescent moon, and I'm going to leave these glasses on every once in a while here, so if you see me wearing those, it's important because I'm still using eye safety as we get closer and closer to the eclipse. But there's a few things you want to look for when this total eclipse occurs, and we're going to try to show it to you on our camera here. The first thing is that diamond ring effect. That occurs because the beams of light from the sun are shining through a few of the valleys on the moon. The other thing you're going to look for is Bailey's beads. Those are another element that is a result of that last little bit of light fading away from the sun. And it is getting amazingly darker here. In fact, I'm going to put these glasses on right now. Let's take that camera full onto the sun, because we're going to have totality here in just a moment.
Yep, we can hear people coming around telling us totality is about to happen. The cheers are getting louder and louder.
And as soon as this happens, you're going to hear a massive scream from this crowd, I almost guarantee you.
You're going to hear it from me, too.
And so we're really just seeing that teeny little crescent of the moon, or the sun, excuse me, right now as the moon continues to cover up the sun.
It's moving so much quicker than I anticipated.
And this actually moves almost at 1,500 miles per hour across the Earth, Ellie. So when they were seeing it on the West Coast, we weren't seeing it here. There we go. We got the last teeny little bit. So now let's watch for that Bailey's beads and the diamond ring effect. We'll see if we see a little burst of light right when you hit totality. The last teeny little bit is slithering away, and you may see a flash right about now.
Take them in the dark. Take them in the dark.
Now, Ellie, take your glasses off here. And all around us, it is literally dark.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
And we are seeing the corona of the sun. That is the outer atmosphere of the sun that you're looking at right there. Usually that is not visible to us at all here on Earth. But because of the solar eclipse, we're able to see that corona of the sun around us. That corona is incredibly hot. It's a little area of the sun that is a faint glow around the sun right now. It's about 3.5 million degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm looking around the sky here, and you can actually see a few planets and stars.
Oh, are those what those
That's
are?
what those are, Ellie, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right over here to the right, you can see one little planet.
Do you know which one that is?
I don't off the top of my head. I know Mars and Jupiter are a couple of the visible ones.
Ooh, let's say it's Jupiter.
Wow, this is incredible.
It looks like it's dusk. I can't believe how dark it just got.
And this is only going to last for about 2 minutes here. Sometimes these eclipses can last 7, 8 minutes, but for us here, this is only lasting about 2 minutes in its total time.
And besides how beautiful this looks, the other thing I noticed immediately is this huge temperature drop we just had, which
it's gotten cooler.
I'm loving this right now because it's been so hot here all day, and I'm finally feeling some cool air.
It looks like it's about, would you say 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. It looks like that last little bit of glow right before the sun sets on the
It almost
horizon.
sounds like we can hear crickets.
You can hear the crickets
The crickets
chirping.
think it's nighttime.
That is incredible.
Wow.
So it's a little hard to see them, but those little things you see around the sun, those are actually the prominences. These are large, bright features standing outward from the sun's surface that you can only see during this totality. This is the thing, Ellie, that people travel all across the world to see. We are so lucky where we are that if you lived in the Tri-Cities, you only had to travel a short distance down to here into this path totality to see this site.
This really is something. I don't think my jaw has shut since this happened.
I purposely didn't tell Ellie 100% of what was going to happen because I wanted her reaction during this.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that this is what was going to happen.
And now, of course, if you're seeing this view now and you want to see this coming up later in your life, your next shot is in 2024. That's when the next total eclipse in the United States is going to be actually April 8th, 2024.
Oh, okay.
That track is going to go from Texas to Maine. In the Tri-Cities, we're going to see about 86% coverage. You can almost see where the moon is getting a little bit further on the right side. It's kind of hard for me. There we go.
Oh,
so now you're seeing...
So do we have to put our glasses back on?
Yes, now is the time to put your glasses back on in that path of totality.
Oh, and you can hear everyone cheering. That was such an amazing phenomenon.
And that's it. That's your 2 minutes. And about
that was 2 minutes?
2 minutes and 34 seconds of totality.
That felt 30 seconds.
Take your glasses off here. Look around. Watch as it just gets brighter and brighter.
Oh my gosh. Wow, it's going from light to dark from over the earth.
And it's so hard to describe this amount of light. I hope our camera's doing it justice because it's not really a specific time in the day to describe to you. It's like a very silvery kind of light.
Yes. Oh, it's like morning over here, and it almost looks like a thunderstorm is approaching us because it just looks very gray and silver.
That's an awesome way to describe it. All right. Well, that was totality here in Athens. Areas east of here are going to experience totality next. And we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio because we have had one incredible time here in Athens, Tennessee. And I hope you guys enjoyed our sights as well back in the Tri-Cities.
That was an incredible sight to see and to hear their reaction as well. But now we are gearing up for the peak here in the Tri-Cities.
Yes, it is now 2:36. We're going to go to Dave Dirks, who's at a watch party in Johnson City. Dave, how's it going there?
We're going to get. Yay! Glasses on, everybody.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the max eclipse that we're going to see right now in the Tri-Cities. I'm live from Johnson City at the Public Library. Everybody's got their glasses on and their heads up in the sky looking at it. It's been just an incredible sight. Obviously, it's getting quite dark. In fact, we've actually heard some crickets chirping not too long ago, and we're going to kind of sneak over here, maybe get a little crowd reaction. How are you, buddy? This is Walter. Can you tell our viewers what your favorite part of this has been so far?
That it's really dark, and I would probably be like really sunny outside, so I'd be like playing outside with my brother.
Right, and we have blue sky, but it's dark. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's
What did you see when you looked through your glasses?
a a really thin line.
Right.
Just
Yeah, that's
of
pretty
the
cool, wasn't
sun.
it? Thank you very much. Put your glasses on before you look back up. All righty. Going to come over here. We've got Christopher, and you brought your friend. All right?
My little buddy.
All right. What's this experience meant for you?
Well, it takes on a little bit more of a spiritual experience for me. I grew up as a preacher's kid, so it reminds me a lot of what they talk about in Matthew 24:29 with the darkening of the sun and the moon not shining forth its light. So.
All right. It means something different to everybody. It has not. It has lived up to its hype, though. I think y'all have had a good time over here. I know you got your glasses on. The Eclipse spirit.
A complete excitement there in Johnson City, and now some of you guys have been sharing your pictures with us. We can take a look at some of those as well this afternoon.
Yeah, check out some of the viewer pictures that we've been receiving. So this one came in from Marion, Virginia, as the eclipse began. Another one from Bristol, Tennessee, and Man and Beast been enjoying it, putting on the glasses. And one more, thanks to Elizabeth for sending that picture in. As we take a live look around the region, of course, there's still a lot of daylight out there, but it is, you kind of notice that difference. It's kind of a silvery look, so we're not getting all of the effects that they are getting down in the total eclipse zone down around Athens, Tennessee. But if you have those glasses, you still have some time to go look at the sun. Through those glasses, you will see most of the sun covered. So it's amazing that with just 5 to 6% of sunlight, it still looks that bright outside.
And you're saying that it'll still stay partially covered for at least a couple hours?
Yeah, it looks like the eclipse will completely end about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, well, thank you for sharing some time with us this afternoon for Nature's Blackout as we've tracked the 2017 solar eclipse. We now join NBC News for a special report already in progress.
Nature's Blackout, tracking the 2017 solar eclipse, has been a StormTrack 5 special presentation. Nature's Blackout, tracking the 2017 solar eclipse, has been brought to you by Leo's Pest Control and Grindstaff Automotive.
It's the